What's up, everybody? Sean Delancey here, otherwise known as The Legend Be Seen. We're going to do a little bit of Dracula X today, um, maybe some Chan Oki, and wrap it up with Lords of Thunder, and maybe a bonus game, who knows? First, we'll watch this opening scene. This is killer. You gotta love that. This is something we didn't get, here in America. Nice. You gotta love that, Konami. That's classic. Classic Konami. Can you read Japanese? Now, if you play Dracula X enough, you might not learn Japanese, but you'll learn to appreciate it more. And this is Dracula X Rondo of Blood. I thought it was necessary to show the opening scene. I mean, look how laid out and hot this chick is. Look at these guys. Dope. Christopher Lee has arisen. I love it. We're I'm running on the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Great little compact system. Especially it comes with the HDMI cable. You can run 720 straight out of the box. It's great. All right, we're just going to get started. We're going to jump right in it. Now up here, if you look, I'm not even going to lie about it. If you put in that name under your first player, and this works for any port of Dracula X Rondo of Blood, you'll actually you'll be able to do like a level select, boss select, and a couple other things. I'll show you. You get the little sound test. You get all kinds of neat things. But we're just gonna jump right in it. Hopefully this is running right. I've spent the better part of a week trying to get streaming to run off of the capture card that I received from my brother for my birthday, and it's been a chore. Anyway, we'll just get started. I'm not going to cry about it. Now, you know as well as I do, when there is a blue candle in a walkway below you, there's something there to be got. I'm not doing a speed run. I'm not looking for glitches. I'm jumping in the water. That's what I'm doing. Let's do this. Let me start over. Trust me, this will be better. As you notice, I'm not wearing a headset. I'm not doing the big DJ microphone in front of my face. I might have to. It depends on the quality of this video. But last night I was running on my phone, and everything was wireless. I downloaded an app, and that's where I was losing a lot, losing lag, losing way too much. But I'm thinking I've got it straight tonight. I'm not trying to be picky. I'm just trying to do one that I know I can somewhat play through. And this may not be it. Who knows? But we got a couple other games we're going to play through the night that are awesome. Cool Japanese imports. Now, Lords of Thunder, that was released on the Turbo CD. Most of us didn't see unless we had like $600 back in the 90s to get it. I was lucky enough to have just the regular TurboGrafx 16, which was awesome. You know what? We're going to go. And let me know if the music's not loud enough. I can always make it louder. It's not a big deal. Some beautiful music on this game, especially through the TurboGrafx Mini. They did a good job with it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of games that are strictly in Japanese, but it's not a problem. You can still play through it. Snatcher is on here, and you can't play through Snatcher if you remember that game on Sega CD. It's impossible to play through unless you understand Japanese. Or if you want to sit there and point and click and hope you get it right, check this out. Look at that. I have that tattooed on my chest, by the way, but you can't see it. It's one of those new translucent style tattoos. You have to have a special light. Look at there. Yeah, you thought it was over. It's that ELO that's saying turn to stone. Look at there. Medusa's gone. What comes next? Oh my goodness. The Mummy. Oh my goodness. This is a true test right here. I mean, this is truly. What do you do? Oh, that's terrible. That's okay. all these YouTubers, they give all these big shout outs and everything, and you know, nobody ever gives a good shout out to YouTube. So yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to YouTube and curing all of our boredom. And thanks. It's not really like a YouTube headquarters or like a building or a destination. I've Googled it. Um, but especially last year, YouTube definitely kept me busy while working. I was able to work. I'm very fortunate. But anyway, yeah, and I see a lot of other YouTubers talking about click on the comments below, check out links, go below, and I think a lot of YouTubers, uploaders, whatever you want to call them, and I guess I'm one too. I shouldn't say them. They forget that 99% of the YouTube viewers now we're watching it on our smart TVs. So there's no way to go down to comments. There's no way to look at whatever links are sent, um, unless you're like looking on a PC or on a phone. But like I've got an Amazon Fire Smart TV, and most of my YouTube viewing I do on it, and you can't look at all that stuff. You can't click on a link. So any of you YouTubers out there, remember that. Can't do it if you're watching it on a TV. And it sucks watching it on a phone. It really does. Unless you've got like a studly Apple phone, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you've got that, I'm probably gonna do horrible now. That's okay. I'm not really trying to attain a goal. I'm just kind of showing off what this system can do and how badass some of these games can really be. Um, this is one of the more expensive minis out there. Um, I've seen them going for $300, which is nuts. But I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm just gonna get right to it. I think we're gonna throw the crucifix. I think that's proper, not the axe. The axe is cool. Don't get me wrong, especially the purple axe. But I like how everything's purple. There's a lot of purple in this game. We don't have enough purple in games that we play, in my opinion. Um, that's just me. Oh my goodness, I'm playing so horrible tonight. Last night was killer. I streamed for like 2 hours, and everything seemed like it was going good, but the playback, the audio kept skipping, and that was due to the wireless effect. But nobody knows about that. Nobody saw that. Nobody watches this channel, and that's okay. I do this for myself, and my 16 loyal subscribers, and I'm not being facetious about that. I'm happy to have them, um, and it's all good. If you've never checked out my YouTube channel, it's The Legend Be Seen Productions, and it's kind of all over the spectrum. I've got a lot of kind of obscure 8 millimeter, Super 8 millimeter films, um, and just different things I put together using probably the best black metal band in the world, Colossal Abyss, and their entire music catalog. Now, there's not much, but there's reason for that. The human mind can only handle so much Colossal Abyss at once. Um, and I've kind of staggered it, over the years. But I take music from them and put it together with films that I mix together. Some are old, like home movies and student films uh, that I came across. And actually, I have a projector and I put that stuff on the screen and just check it out. You may or may not like it. I probably have the worst YouTube channel ever, but it's all good. I dig it. My subscribers dig it. And, I'm always open for constructive criticism, especially when fighting big purple bats. I'm playing horrible. Game over. That's it. Game over, man. We're just gonna save. We're gonna end. We're gonna check out some more levels. I wanna do some more boss battles. And like I said, if you're just now joining us, like for some reason I have another viewer. If you look up there under player one and you type that in exactly that name as it sits on any even the emulators for this game, it gives you a neat stage select, which is really cool. Then you can play through and do however you want to do it, whatever pace you want to go. The possibilities are endless. Oh, I hate this level. It's the birds. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, I'll probably end up dying pretty quick because of these damn birds. There's no. I'm sure there's game masters out there that find glitches and do speed runs, with this game. Um, Good for you. That's all I can say. Good for you. Because these fucking birds, I swear. I have such a short term memory. It's hard for me to remember what levels are what, even though I've played this 1,000 times. It's horrible. Now, a game I kind of enjoyed was Castlevania 64. I feel like it kind of got a bad rap. It was kind of ahead of its time and also kind of too late for that system. I loved the Nintendo 64. Um, there were a lot of great titles on it. There were a lot of bad titles, but Castlevania 64, yeah, it definitely had, like, playing it now. You're like, oh, but it's for its time to play that game like it was pretty neat. It's all we could hope for. I was one of those kids that, my brother and I, we didn't really have instruction books. We just we'd wing it, and you couldn't Google everything like you can now. It's all word of mouth, or you know, if you had the money to subscribe to Nintendo Power. And I apologize for playing so horrible tonight. We'll get it going though. Hang in there. It's not like we're playing Mario or Donkey Kong or Dig Dug. Now, Dig Dug, that's a game I would like to stream. I'm these fucking birds. And the whole time I was choosing a level, like a few minutes ago, I was like, man, I hope I don't pick the bird level. Please no bird level. Please no black crow bird level. And they're probably not even crows. They look kind of like black hawks. There's that one word, Black Hawk. I have to look back to make sure I'm still streaming. A couple nights ago, I did a good 2 hour stream and went to cut everything off. It was already off. So I looked at the video and it had stopped 7 minutes in, and I didn't know it. Killer gameplay. I did incredibly well that night, and go figure. And it was all because of me trying to run Streamlabs as well as the capture card somewhat wirelessly using my phone as a webcam and also as a microphone. And it took me a while to troubleshoot that. Really did, because the wireless effect it kind of causes like a disturbance. Look at all the bats out there. See them in the windows. Oh goodness. That's one thing about Castlevania that I think we all forget, is that you have to push down to walk down the steps. I see you. Yeah. I need to just go back to Castlevania school, I guess. Yeah. You guys are probably like, dude, what an amateur. And that's fine. Because nobody's watching anyway. I never get tired of the Konami startup. We're just going to go through each level. Bear with me. Do we do that one? And we'll check it out as we do. The Purple Knight kind of reminds me of the guard guys off of Labyrinth that kind of stood behind the shield. I don't know why, but he does. Or it could be she. It could be a girl. Could be a female. Females can wear armor too. That's the PC thing to say, right? Say female. I'm scared to say anything anymore. Yeah, we'll just burn it up. Those things up there suck. I hate them. Honestly, until I got this system, I'd never played any Dracula X or Castlevania title with a TurboGrafx 16 controller. And that's the cool thing about this mini system, is that the controller and the system really is all just about, well, the controller is the exact same size. The system's a little smaller than the actual system, but it's still cool. These guys. last Monday was my birthday, and I was up late Sunday night. So I'm going through this new app called Cameo. Cameo is really cool. And as sad as it may seem, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get somebody really cool. It's full of celebrities, like Ric Flair's on there. And those of you that hate Ric Flair, shame on you. I mean, that's he's an icon. But anyway, so everybody's on there. Like the fat white guy from The Office is on there, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but he is the fat white guy. Um, got skeletons swinging from the ceiling. It'd be cool if they were like dressed like pirates. And anyway, with Cameo, I'm going through it, going through it, going through it, going through it, and there's literally hundreds of thousands of people on there. Um, Jack Nicholas, the golfer, is on there for like $1,000 bucks. It's ridiculous. Wrestlers, everybody. So I'm going through it, and it has like a little 10-second kind of introduction for each person. And I stumbled upon these two ladies from TikTok called Sid and Olivia, and I thought they were hilarious. And um, so I reached out. Oh, look at there. See, y'all thought I was dead. I'm back at the bottom. It's a whole new level. Anyway, I chose them um, to wish me happy birthday, and it was like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I was like feeling down because I had to work the next day, and it was really cool. They sent me a good little birthday wish and kind of a little pep talk, and I reached out to them earlier. I want to say Thursday, this past Thursday, and told them on TikTok I thought they were funny. I thought they were great. I'm not a TikToker, but a lot of other people are. Nothing against it. It's really cool because everything's short. I'm not gonna go on and on about TikTok, but that's where they came from. And they're funny as hell. So like you can with Cameo, basically you can request any type of message within reason, and some people on there you can request whatever. You'd be really surprised. So say you're breaking up with a girl or a boy, you can use Sid and Olivia to do it. Say you're a big dog boss, say you're top dog at your company and you want to fire somebody with class, you could use Sid and Olivia to do it, or whoever on Cameo. So I kind of reached out to him Thursday and I was like, hey, you know, off to work, blah, blah, blah. Send me anything random, uh, whatever. And also, I sent him a little message, which you're allowed to do for a couple bucks, which was worth it, that I was interested in putting some of their videos on TikTok that they had sent me, actually from Cameo, not from TikTok, to basically just kind of show what they're about and just something different. And I haven't actually watched that video yet because I'm kind of freaked out that not really freaked out, but they might be like, no, don't put us on YouTube. Um, but I'm gonna do it anyway, regardless, because I paid for it. Cameo is not free, uh, but I think it'll be neat, and I hope they make something of themselves, which they already have. They're already something, but it just I don't know how to explain it, and I mean it in like a cordial, platonic way. They're definitely they have like a chemistry. I'm going on and on and on and doing horrible. I'm like in a church fighting purple knights. I watched a YouTube video earlier today about the game Holy Diver. And now in the world of 3D printers, there's guys making, I don't want to say fake, but they could be faked. Um, They're making new game cartridges that will fit in vintage systems, and basically, they can take and port a game to a scan disk easily, put a nice little case around it where it'll fit into a Retron system, Retron 5, something like that. And the guy that was showing off, I'm not gonna name him because whatever. Um, he is a popular YouTuber, but was going all through Holy Diver, and he's like, "Yeah, Holy Diver is not based on the song. It's not based on the band. It's not based on Dio." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, no." I remember years ago reading about that game, um, and it was. I think the story was it was never released here in the States. I think it was released maybe in Europe, maybe in Japan. But it did. It had like the main characters. They had a main character, Zach. They had Ozzy. Basically it's about the song Holy Diver. If you've ever seen the Dio video for Holy Diver, basically whoever made that game, the group that made that game, made it directly from that video. Um, so yeah, if you happen to stumble across that, same guy talking about how the game Holy Diver is not based on the video or the song, he's wrong. I sent him a comment. I took the time to look up the video on my phone and let him know that he was wrong. And I said it in a nice way. And it probably doesn't matter because, there's a huge amount of people that don't know that song, that don't know Dio, and that's horrible. Tenacious D won a Grammy for covering The Last in Line by Dio. And most people don't know that. That's killer. We're just going to cruise right on through. I apologize for not properly playing this game like what you want, but it's not like anybody's watching. So I can do what I want. This is the Legends time. Or it could be your time, if you're there. Is there anybody out there? All I want to do is make it to a boss. With the cheat code, I hate saying cheat code. With the code that I have in, I've got stage select. So even if I don't beat the bosses, my goal tonight was to at least show off the bosses in this game. Because the cool thing about the Castlevania and Dracula X franchise are the bosses. They have their own design. That each game is different, has its own different set of bosses. Dracula kind of favors each Dracula in that series, but Symphony of the Night was one of the best examples of some of the best boss battles ever. I've played some of the newer, was it Lord of Shadows? I've played some of those. They were good. They were good. I had one I think on the original, the classic Xbox. Um, the one where Patrick Stewart, I think he narrated or he did the voice of Alucard, one or the other. That was a killer game. But you can't forget about the roots. Now, online there are other codes for this game where you can play several different characters. Um, the female and I don't know. Pardon me for not knowing all their names, but there are some good little hacks and cheats that you can achieve in this game just by accessing the sound menu and lots of different things. It'd be cool to have those stained glass windows like on a poster. That's a cool execution device right there. I remember watching the WWF crucifixion match with Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was killer. Undertaker actually crucified Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, that's something that will never happen again. But you know what? In the 90s, anything was possible. Little jumping. I think this guy's name is Flea. I'm probably going to die. Don't think less of me when I die on the stairs. Oh my goodness. Cool. I never claimed to be like a speed runner. You know, I'm playing. Don't if you get frustrated, just I'm sorry. I watch these guys doing these like speed runs and trying to find glitches, and to me, glitches are kind of like an impure thing. Um, they put they put systems on hot plates, and I don't know, try to like rub wool blankets on them for like static electricity, and whatever. I mean, if you're into that style of gaming, I like solid playthroughs. Not necessarily every single little aspect of the game, but give me a true Mario speed run with like no warp zones and no glitches. Let's see how badass you can be. I'm not saying that finding these glitches don't take time, and I'm glad they're doing it, but it's a different category of gaming to me. Um, and I don't care what they say, glitches don't work all the time, especially if you're playing an emulator, or you're playing like a mini system. And if anybody tells you that they will work, tell them to prove it. So prove it, man. Prove it. Say it. Don't spray it. I don't appreciate all these Medusa heads. I don't. Like, where's the body? I remember playing as a kid and seeing like dismembered body parts and just random things in a game, and I'm like, where's the rest of it? Always kind of hoped that I would encounter the body of Medusa. I'm pretty sure that is Medusa. You're like, dude, just go. Chicken. Look at that. It died right in front of the chicken. What you reckon? Oh, he just attacks. I'm just gonna balls out it. Are you okay with that? There. See, I knew I'd be able to do that. I just forgot. It's all coming back to me. You know, it's kind of like waking up from a coma and learning to walk again. Maybe. Oh my goodness. Was that Hard to Kill? That Steven Skull movie where he's like in a coma. He grabs a broom and gets back to normal, and he's got like a long beard, bad haircut. And I don't think Steven Seagal can grow facial hair. I think what he does have is like kind of like Hair Club for Men. Um, they have to like transfer hair probably from his back around his face to make it work. I apologize, but you know what? It's fine. We're gonna go to another level. I could go ahead and fight Dracula. We'll give it a few more minutes, and after that, I'll just switch to another game. I've got Chun Oke, I think it's called. I was kind of looking. I thought I wrote it down, and it translates to Super Big Brother, and it's a really bizarre side-scrolling style shooter. I don't know how else to describe it. It's kind of like a Return to Oz vibe with Dune mixed with it, and a real steampunk feel. It's a neat game. I'd never heard of it honestly until I got this system last year, and we're gonna check it out in a little bit. I'm not gonna bore you to death with too much Rondo of Blood because I'm sure a lot of people out there are like, oh, I've played that game plenty of times, but whatever. Don't hate. Oh, more flea people. Great. No, I do remember this guy. I sat and hit him probably for 30 minutes one time. He does not die. Now I've seen weird hacks where people supposedly killed this guy. I don't think it's real. But what do I know? Yeah, I don't even have a weapon. Gracious. I don't even have a weapon. All I have is my whip. Look at this guy. I remember this guy. I bet there's something here. Nope, just a heart. I have 13 hearts. That's bad luck. We're just gonna leave him. Look at the bodies up there. That is so cool. Like if I was a game developer and I was doing that, I'd be like, well, look, let's have the player actually like fight the bottom half of the torso. And they probably have done that. I know in Symphony of the Night, fighting the big bodies, the ball of bodies, that was killer. I'm trying to make my face less white and bright, if that makes any sense. This must be the Wright brothers level. Her. Yes, I'm walking away from holy water. You know what? Most people would walk up those stairs and be done with it, but not me. I know there has to be something. Konami wouldn't leave us hanging. They wouldn't put something like this, these guillotine spike chained ram horn things. Oh, maybe I should go up the steps. Oh my goodness. See? It's kind of ridiculous how much a lot of vintage gaming is going for now. I used to sell on eBay TSR 80 Tandy color computer games, and I started buying the systems and getting them working, and working out all the bugs, and because I mean, you figure if you're selling vintage games, especially Tandy color computer TSR 80 games, people are going to want a system. And some of those games, I mean, I'd set up for auction. There was one called Dungeons of Daggerath, and I remember getting like $80 for it, which was great. Oh, and this the buyer, I was like, "Yeah, man, I got some systems listed." And he's like, "Well, no, I don't need a system." I'm like, "Oh, you must already have one." And he informed me, no, it's something he's going to stick on on his shelf as a display piece, and that there's actually a game grading company out there that will grade your game like a comic book, encapsulate it, and give it a grade. Um, I get it, but to do vintage gaming now, you're going to spend some dough. Like and that's if it's real. There's a lot of fake stuff going on out there. I myself, a few years ago, bought a whole bunch of Super Nintendo games and NES games that the cases were loose. There were different things going on. Batteries had definitely been replaced, which can be a good thing. But yeah, a vintage copy or any copy of Mega Man, even if the sticker's gone, you're gonna pay $100 for it. And yeah, I'm playing horrible. I'm not. I'm not the best gamer when it comes to Castlevania. Now, I've beat my share of games, but very few Castlevania titles, if any. I remember playing Simon's Quest like crazy, and it's almost too long of a game. All the items you have to get to put together to summon Dracula, and that's it. And I never went through it like I should have. And I think the biggest part of that is like renting games back in the 80s. We didn't have Blockbuster yet, at least not here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Um, we had like Blake's Video, we had Chip's Video, and they had them, but they usually had like one copy of each game, and then it was super expensive. I remember it was like $8 to rent a game, a NES game, for 2 nights. And if you didn't send it back in 2 nights, it was like $3 a day in late charges. It was ridiculous. So a lot of my gaming, it was based around what I could do in 2 days. Um, I didn't always get a game every week. I'm just running into this guy. It's like, I can pass it. But you didn't know. It's not like it is now where you can watch gameplay videos and look in NES magazines, and you just didn't know. I mean, well, I guess you could look in those magazines back in the day, but they were, sorry, my nose is itching. Somebody's talking about me. They were expensive. So I mean, it's like a lot of games you read the back, or you had a friend that played them. Um, you didn't know till you put it in, and there were some games that were very deceiving. I can remember playing the Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner game, and I thought it was going to be ridiculous. I was like, I don't want to play this. And I think it was like a special at Chip's video or Blake's video where it's like rent one get one free type of deal. And that was actually a killer game. Spa versus Spa, that was a good game. I remember playing Kid Nicky and was blown away by it. That's a badass game. Show me a speed run of Kid Nicky, um, with no glitches, and I'll take my hat off to you. I'm sure they're out there, but it's hard to trust a lot of speed runs because you just don't know if they're playing glitches or what. I'm going up the steps. I'm not going back the other way. We know what's there. It's a skeleton dragon. Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke was a killer game. That's one that I rented multiple times. Um, I had a lot of repeat rentals. And even when Blockbuster came along, it was gaming was still tough. They cost more to rent than movies. And on a budget, you know, my family wasn't the richest. On a budget, you had a choice. You either get a movie or get a game, and you could keep the movie longer, but the game was always a lot more rewarding. Dope. You know, what do you think? Should we fly into the next game? I think we will. Actually, what I'm gonna do, only because on the level select screen, it it flickers really bad. Now I've done everything to try to fix this, and I'm just gonna do that for a minute until I get to it. Only because I don't want to cause any seizures, and all right, now we're gonna play Cho Anki, Hanky Panky. We're gonna watch the opening of this game. This game's really killer. I love it. Look at that. It's like it's like a dark Power Rangers or like a Caillou. And there you go. More Japanese. Um, beautiful, beautiful language. Really is. But I don't think in my lifetime I could. I just don't have the brain capacity to learn it. Um, it would be cool if I could. Look at that. Most of those guys appear in so many games. I have a Wii game. Looks like Goku. And they're in speedos. I have a Wii game. Those guys are in. Um, where it's like hole in a wall. We're actually gonna do easy. Don't make fun of me. It's only because I want to play through a little bit so you can see some of these bosses. And honestly, I understand why they didn't release this in the United States because it would have blown our minds in the especially in 1992. I think is when this game came out. Now I'm guessing that their brother and sister, being that this game translates to Super Big Brother, but I could be wrong. Um, we're gonna play as the guy first. These it's like spinning Hachi heads and flying. If you look on the bottom, look at the chicks, the females in the cages, like the way their mouths move, and it has like robotic. Oh, it dies so fast. Only the good die young. It's like robotic birds with caged women. Look at the chicks on the bottom. Now in the past, I've done pretty good on this game. Oh, it's such a mysterious game because I swear you can play through this game and go through 3 or 4 levels, and seems like the hits that you take don't phase you, and then suddenly the smallest little thing hits you, and you're done. You're dead. That's it. It's over. But there's so much. This is such a Japanese game because there's so much going on, but yet there is a pattern. Now, this guy, if you look kind of in the middle, you see some little baby faces, and then in the very back, it's navigated by like a little baby, like a little baby man, kind of like Master Blaster or maybe like on Total Recall. Then on the inside, look, it's Al Capone, ladies and gentlemen. Al Capone was turned into a cyborg. It's like steampunk Dune, Al Capone, baby driven mech, Dune mech, steampunk Dune mech. I mean, look at the tail on the back with little cables. Now, I do know like some of the bosses on these levels, they're relentless. You gotta like it, you'll spend a good 3 minutes going through um, and hitting them over and over and over. And then others, you hit them in the right, like the sweet spot one time, they're done. I don't want to use all my bombs. I have a bad habit of using up all my bombs. You got to be careful because the levels start right away. There's no transition, and even my understanding is even with the final boss, you can destroy that final boss and things start flying down that will destroy you, and it's game over. You have to start over. And I have a flying muscle man. That's it. Every time. Look at this little countdown. You know, when I was a baby, I was born with abs like that, and I was able to wash all my own clothes and my blankets myself. Um, I worked hard inside my mother's womb to develop that, those killer abs. I highly recommend it. If you're ever being reborn, or you know about somebody that might be having a baby, um, there is a training program that basically we're going to use a bomb. You'll have abs of steel. Your baby will have abs of steel before they even come out, and that's what every parent wants. You want a fit child right out the gate, or do you? I mean, maybe not. I'm not fit anymore, or am I? I like to think that all my old muscles are still there up under my body now, and that one day I could just do the right culmination of things, and everything just pop right back into place, kind of like a reflex, kind of like a dislocated limb. You walk around with it, it hurts, and it's just not working right, and suddenly it pops back into place. Boom. That's where my old body is. My abs of steel, my super quads. It was my nickname in high school. Super quad Delancey. I could squat like 900 pounds, on my right leg alone. You know, they used to call me the Beast of the East. I went to the same high school as Michael Jordan, so don't doubt me. Everybody that goes to that school, I mean, they come out, they're all perfection. I mean, it's how we roll in Wilmington, North Carolina. I mean, it's like the best of the best three. And yeah, I think they made four best of the best movies. And sadly, you know, Chris Penn was, I can't believe I missed that muscle man. Chris Penn was one of the most underrated actors of his time. A lot of people remember him from Reservoir Dogs, Fist of the North Star, Footloose. It's Kevin Bacon's buddy in Footloose. And I didn't know that he had died years ago, and I was kind of sad about it. Look at this guy. You'll love if I get far enough. You'll love what happens with this dude. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. I apologize. I'm sorry. But at least you get a Muscle Man and Speedo countdown, you know, for it. That's kind of like a reward. But just imagine sitting at the developing table, developers table, and pitching the idea for this game. Um, oh my god! And honestly, I think a lot of these games back in the day, these developers that came up with it, they were a tight knit bunch. I don't think with these types of games there was a huge like executive board that decided. Um, that's what makes a lot of these obscure Japanese games so great. There were so many in Japan that this was like somebody's baby, literally. Like then again, I mean, there was stuff that was put out that most don't appreciate today, or even some developers. They hell, I don't know. Like the guy that invented Zelda. I mean, do you really think he sits down sometimes and plays like original NES Zelda? Probably not. They're supposed to be porting all of the DS and Game Boy Color titles over to Switch. So like Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass, and what is that one, that Change of Seasons or whatever? That's all going to be ported over to Switch and will be playable. That's going to be cool. I was a big fan of Wind Waker, Zelda the Wind Waker. That has one of the best endings, I think, or at least let me put it this way: Ganon Death Scene. What is that? That flying blue guy. He's going to help me. I've never seen that. I played this game probably 100 times. I've never ever seen that blue guy. So we might have a chance. Those guys with the jetpacks, they remind me of the little guys off of Super Mario 2. All right, we're gonna do this. Look at that. I, far away, far and away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Oh my goodness, we got it. Oh, I got bombs. I should have been doing bombs from. Why didn't y'all say something? Well, the level change of that guy is pretty killer. We didn't get to see it. Um, I'm sorry. You think it'll start me all the way at the first level, or you think I'll get to start at level 2? Yep, started me at the first level again. I don't really know how long I'm gonna stream tonight. Um, and it really doesn't matter because nobody's watching this. But going forward, I plan on showing a lot of games off of many systems. I don't necessarily want to get into the bootleg games. I mean, maybe, but like the Neo Geo, um, Super Nintendo Mini, all that good stuff. We'll see. I mean, I don't want to do emulators. I wouldn't mind doing a few vintage systems. I almost had my hands on a Odyssey 2 system from 1982 the other day. Had like 10 games with it, and that would be cool. That would be cool to stream, and it's possible. You know, my brother got me a capture card for my birthday. Ripsaw, I think it is, and it's killer. And you can basically port anything onto it with the right adapters. It's got its own little headphone jack. It's got its own microphone jack. It's killer. It's taken me almost over, well, definitely over a week, like 12 days to get this bad boy up and running correctly. I had a lot of failed attempts. Um, I've got a couple videos out there, but it was short lived. I completely deleted the video from last night only because that would be annoying for somebody to have to watch the way my voice was going in and out. It was a lot of good gameplay though, and if anybody out there was watching it, I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm sorry, but going forward, I'm gonna set it up to where I can see what you guys say. Um, we'll be able to message back and all that. It's just my resources are limited. Damn it, I don't have another monitor. Um, yeah, crikey, it just gets bigger and bigger. We're gonna let it count down. Um, look at that. It's kind of like a salute, but not. All right. So I'm going to shut that down for a second because I told you why. It flickers really bad. I don't know if it's because of the way the capture card sees that menu, and it only does it on the Japanese one. Um, We'll go ahead and we'll do Lords of Thunder because I've got that in the description, and plus the music on that game is killer. Um, I'm gonna cut it back on, and we're gonna see what this looks like. See, this menu looks fine, but the Japanese one, you know, like I could go through, and you'll get a little flicker on this. Um, but the Japanese, all the Japanese games, it almost gives me a seizure when I'm looking at it on my PC. And I can't check my chat every now and then. Um, I could. The thing is with Streamlabs and the way this computer is set up, I'm 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 rolling through Streamlabs like I'm streaming. I'm doing the live stream through Streamlabs. I'm not doing it. I am on YouTube, but I'm not using the YouTube structure. Um, one cool thing with Streamlabs, and I'm not asking for a handout, but it has a feature where if you look in the description, um, where there's a link where you could donate to like gamers, which is cool. If that, I doubt that'll ever happen to me, but um, I'm not to the point where I could check my messages, and I apologize for that. Um, I could just be putting up videos, but I'm just trying to figure out why I have no sound. It's always something. Anytime I try to do a good live stream, and I actually checked it before I even started, and everything was bumping just right. But now I'm being told that I don't have sound, at least on the game. That makes me mad. I don't know why that is. Just bear with me here. You can kind of look at the demos that it's going through. I'm trying to get the audio. I feel like an idiot. I've been streaming now for an hour. I just realized there's no audio on the game because I have to keep it turned. I'm not going to wear a headset. Sorry, but I have to keep it turned down on my TV so I don't. It doesn't echo. That's why. Just bear with me. I'm trying to get the sound for the game. If you'd like pina coladas. Uh, I have a plan. Don't worry. Just bear with me. I saw the other night, I was going through YouTube and stumbled across Roger Waters from 1990 live in Berlin. It's really killer. Only because like Tim Curry actually sang in it, um, and he played the part of the prosecutioner. It's really really killer. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Stumbled across Roger Waters from 1990 live in Berlin. Really killer. Only because like Tim Curry actually sang in it, and he played the part of the prosecutioner. Really really killer. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I've tested this over and over and over and over and over today, and don't really understand what's going on now with the freaking audio.